Why would a hero abandon the very world he once died to protect? That question hits hard the moment Avatar, The Way of Water begins to unfold. Because this isn't the same victory story we remember, this is what comes after the victory, when peace starts to crack. Jake Sully is no longer just a warrior, he's a father, a leader, and a man carrying invisible scars. Living with Neytiri and their children, his world seems whole on the surface, but danger is quietly closing in. The humans have returned, stronger, smarter, and far more ruthless. And leading them is a ghost from the past, Colonel Quaritch, reborn in a way that defies death itself. Suddenly, Jake's past decisions come back to haunt him, turning his victory into a ticking time bomb. Every attack, every loss, pushes him closer to a breaking point. Then comes the decision that changes everything. Jake chooses to leave. Not fight. Not stand his ground. But run. For a hero, this feels almost unthinkable. He abandons his homeland, his people, and everything he once swore to protect, taking his family into the vast, unknown oceans of Pandora. And that's where the unease begins. Because this doesn't feel like strategy, it feels like fear. As the Sully family journeys toward the mysterious Mekayina clan, the tone shifts from war to uncertainty. The forests disappear, replaced by endless water, beautiful, yet deeply unsettling. It's a place they don't understand, a world where they don't belong. And beneath it all, a haunting question lingers. Is Jake protecting his family, or running from a war he knows he can't win? This opening doesn't just set up the story, it plants a powerful mystery. Because sometimes, the most dangerous decision a hero can make, is choosing to walk away. The ocean's secret, beauty hiding a dark truth. What if the most beautiful place in Pandora, is also the most dangerous? As the Sully family steps into the unknown world of Avatar, The Way of Water, everything changes. The dense forests are gone, replaced by endless waves, glowing reefs, and a horizon that feels both peaceful and infinite. But beneath that beauty lies something unsettling, something that doesn't welcome outsiders so easily. For Jake Sully and his family, the ocean is not just a new home, it's a test of identity. They are no longer warriors of the forest, they are strangers, struggling to belong. Every movement feels unfamiliar, every breath underwater feels earned. And in those silent depths, the question grows louder, who are they without their home? But the ocean isn't just about identity, it hides a darker truth. The Tulkun, massive and gentle beings, appear almost sacred. Their intelligence reflected in their calm eyes, their movements filled with quiet wisdom. They are not just creatures, they are a civilization of their own. Yet, humans see none of this. To them, the Tulkun are resources, targets to be hunted, exploited, and destroyed. And this is where the story becomes disturbingly real. The film mirrors humanity's own history, colonization, greed, and the destruction of what we don't understand. It forces the audience to confront an uncomfortable question. Are we watching fiction, or a reflection of ourselves? As the camera dives deeper, the visuals begin to shift. The glowing marine life, once mesmerizing, starts to feel eerie. The silence of the deep ocean becomes heavy, almost watchful. It's as if Pandora itself is aware, observing, waiting. Subtle clues suggest that something ancient exists beneath the surface, something far more powerful than humans realize. Jake vs. Quaritch, a war beyond death. What if your greatest enemy didn't just survive, but came back stronger, colder, and no longer human? That's the terrifying reality inside Avatar, The Way of Water. Because this time, the war isn't just physical, it's deeply psychological. Colonel Quaritch is no longer the man who died on Pandora, he's something else entirely. Reborn in a Naasik's body, carrying the memories of a dead soldier, he becomes a chilling paradox. A mind without a soul, a warrior without humanity. And that raises a haunting question: if memories define who we are, then what happens when they're copied into something new? Is Quaritch still the same man, or just a shadow pretending to be him? But what makes this conflict even more intense is how it mirrors Jake Sully. Once a fearless leader who chose Pandora over Earth, Jake now finds himself changing in a different way. He's no longer driven by courage alone, he's driven by fear. Fear of losing his family. Fear of facing a war that keeps evolving. Every decision he makes, running, hiding, avoiding confrontation, slowly chips away at the warrior he used to be. And that's where the real tension lies. Because while Quaritch is losing his humanity in pursuit of control, Jake is losing his identity in pursuit of protection. Their journeys are no longer just opposites, they are reflections. One is becoming less human to win the war. The other is sacrificing who he is just to survive it. And when these two forces inevitably collide, it's not just hero versus villain anymore. It's a clash of philosophies, of identity, of what it truly means to be alive. Because in a war beyond death, the scariest question isn't who will win. It's who will still be human when it ends. The final battle, hidden twists and emotional destruction. Just when you think the war is ending, it begins in its most terrifying form. In Avatar, The Way of Water, the final battle doesn't arrive as a simple clash, it erupts as chaos, where every second feels like survival is slipping away. The ocean, once calm and beautiful, transforms into a battlefield of fire, steel, and sinking hope. And at the center of it all is Jake Sully, forced to face the very enemy he tried to escape. The destruction begins with shocking intensity. A massive ship, symbolizing human power and control, is torn apart piece by piece. Flames rise against the dark sky, while beneath the surface, the real fight unfolds. Water floods every corner, turning escape into a nightmare. And suddenly, the battle is no longer about winning, it's about breathing, surviving, and holding on to the ones you love. But what makes this moment unforgettable isn't just the action, it's the emotion. Every choice carries weight. Every second demands sacrifice. As family members are separated, trapped, and pushed to their limits, the fear becomes real, almost suffocating. The audience isn't just watching anymore, they're feeling the panic, the desperation, the helplessness. Then come the twists. Hidden in the chaos are subtle details, glances, decisions, moments of hesitation, that reveal something deeper. Unexpected alliances begin to form. Enemies hesitate. And suddenly, the line between hero and villain starts to blur. And just when it feels like the storm is settling, the emotional hits hardest. Loss. Pain. Survival at a cost. Because in the end, this doesn't feel like victory. It feels like a warning. A warning that the war is far from over, and what's coming next may be even more devastating. The legacy of Avatar, a warning for the future. Avatar, The Way of Water leaves more than awe, it's a chilling mirror of our world. James Cameron warns of environmental collapse, identity loss, and the hidden costs of survival. What if the Tulkun truly guard Pandora? What if Jake's choices ignite a larger war? The real legacy, sometimes, the deadliest threat isn't the enemy, but the decisions we make to defeat them. Subscribe my channel for more interesting and knowledgeful videos.